This is lesson 4, and we're still in section 3.3 of your textbook. We're looking at factored form of a quadratic relation, day 2. So I'd like you to recall from the other lessons what we've previously learned, that the standard form of a quadratic relation is in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, where a cannot equal 0, and that factored form of a quadratic relation is in the form y equals a times x minus r times x minus s, where a cannot equal 0. And we also learned the axis of symmetry formula, which is h equals r plus s divided by 2. And we remember that r plus s are the zeros from factored form, or the zeros that we can get off the graph of a quadratic relation. So what we're going to focus on today is we're going to look at getting an equation. So we're going to make the equation for a parabola, and we're going to do that using the zeros and the coordinates of 1 point on the parabola. So we're going to write the equation in factored form. If we're going to write the equation in factored form from the zeros and from 1 point, we need 3 values. We need the a value, we need r, and we need s. And remember that r and s are the zeros. If we have those 3 values, then we can easily sub them into the general form and get the equation of the quadratic. All right, let's look at our first example. Determine an equation for the parabola. So as soon as we see that, determine an equation for the parabola, we know that our final answer is going to be in the form y equals a bracket x minus r times x minus s. Okay, so our final answer will be in that form, and we're going to have to replace a, replace r, and replace s. Since those are the 3 terms I need, on the side of my page, I'm going to go ahead and write a equals, r equals, s equals. Then I'll read the rest of the questions and see if any of those values are given to me. So it tells me that my parabola has zeros, -2 and 1. So that's my r, -2 and 1. And it also tells me I have a y-intercept of 10, so that's a point on my parabola, and we'll write it as an ordered pair. So the y-intercept would be 0, 10 as an ordered pair. All right, what we'll do is we'll sub in what we know so far. So what we know so far is that we know r is -2, and we know s is 1. We don't know a, so let's sub that in. What we know, y equals a bracket x. Now if I'm subtracting a -2, it would look like this: subtract -2. But that's not simplified, and I know 2 negatives make a positive, so I'm going to right away write it as x plus 2. And that makes sense with what we already know about the zeros and the factors in the factored form of the equation. We know they're the opposite once they come out of the bracket. So it's a plus 2 here, and we know -2, that makes sense. It's the opposite. So that means in here I would have x minus 1, and again that makes sense. It's a -1 here, and when it's out of the factor is pulled out, it's a +1 as the 0. All right, now all we need is the a value, and we're going to find the a value by subbing in the y-intercept, subbing in that point that's on the parabola. So we're going to sub in 0, 10. Okay, when we sub this in, we know 0 is the x value and 10 is the y value. So the 10 is going to sit out front, so 10 equals a. The 0 is going to go where x is, so that's 0 plus 2. And the 0 goes again where x is, 0 minus 1. Okay, we're going to start by answering what the value is inside the brackets. So my a stays out front. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 1 is a -1. Okay, in the next line, I'm going to multiply 2 times -1, which is -2. And I know that if I have a, so I'm going to write it in black, don't write this down, just watch. If I have a times -2, I'm actually going to write that with the coefficient in front, because when we multiply a letter times a number, we always write it coefficient in front, like that. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to put that down. So it's going to be -2 times a. Right, our last step is to solve for a, so I'll divide both sides by -2, and that leaves me with a by itself, and I can see 10 times -2 is a -5. Okay, so I have my a value, which is -5. So the last thing I have to do is just write my equation. So y equals -5 times x plus 2 times x minus 1. And that's our final answer. All right, let's check out example 2. So example 2 says to determine the equation for a parabola. So again, we know that when we're going to determine the equation of parabola, our final answer will be in the form y equals a times x minus r times x minus s. We see that we have zeros, -6, -2, and a max value of 8. So let's list everything we need to make the equation. We need a, we need r, and we need s. And let's fill in what we have from the question. I have zeros, -6, and -2. Let's write that down. I have a max value of 8. So let's think about what this means. If I have a maximum value, that means that this is the y value of the vertex. So that 8 is essentially half a point. So I have vertex. I'm going to put a V so I know it's not just any point, it's a special point. It's the vertex. And what I have is the y value of the vertex. So what I don't have is I don't have the x value of the vertex, which we know is h. Do I have a way to find h? Because I know if I have h, I have a point, and then I can do what I did in example 1. I just got to sub that point in and I'll get my a value. So let's remember all the way at the top of our page, we do have a formula to find h, and it's right here. If I have my zeros, I just add them together, divide by 2, and that gives you my x value of my vertex. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have to do that step first. So to get h, we know it's r plus s divided by 2. My r is -6 plus s is -2 divided by 2. That'll be -8 divided by 2, which is -4. All right, so now I have my h, which is -4. And I am ready now to find a. So we can see that we have our r value, which is -6. We have our s, which is -2. And we have a point we can sub in to find a. So let's write what we know so far. We know y equals a times x, and I know if I'm subtracting a negative, that's going to be like a +6. And it's subtract s, so subtracting a negative again is going to be a +2. We're going to sub in our point, which is -4, 8, so that's the vertex on this parabola, and then that will help us find our a value. So we know x is -4 and y is 8. Let's go ahead and sub that in. So 8 is going to go out front. A times -4 plus 6, and then it's going to be -4 plus 2. Okay, so we'll have 8 equals a. We're going to solve in the bracket. -4 plus 6 is 2. Times, solve in the bracket again. -4 plus 2 is a -2. Now we'll multiply. 2 times -2 is a -4. We write that in front. And we will then divide each side by -4. And so we're left with -2 equals a. So I now have my a value, and I just have to write my final equation. So y equals -2 x plus 6 times x plus 2. And there's our final answer. All right, let's go on, turn the page, and take a look at example 3. So example 3 is a little bit different. We're starting with a graph now. So let's see what they want us to find. Okay, so the first thing they want us to find is the zeros. Let's identify right here. These are the zeros. So I know my zeros are -2 and 3. Okay, next thing they want us to find is the equation of the axis of symmetry. So we know that's going to be right here. Now I can see that my line goes through 0 and 1. It looks like a half, but I'm not quite sure. So what we're going to do is use the equation, or the formula. So h equals r plus s divided by 2, and this will help me know, is it actually x equals a half, which is what I think it is. So my r and s are above, -2 plus 3 divided by 2, and sure enough I get a half. So my axis of symmetry is x equals a half. Remember, that's that vertical line that goes through the x value of the vertex. Okay, next we want to find the vertex of the parabola. So to get the vertex, we know that the x value of the vertex is a half, and the y value, don't look at it right here, it's a little bit above. I don't know what my y value is. So we know that k represents that y value right here. I'm not really sure what it is. So I'm just going to leave it as k. So the question says to determine an equation for the quadratic. Okay, so we're going to determine an equation for the quadratic. So we know our final answer is going to be in that form, a times x minus r times x minus s. I'm going to go ahead and list the values we need. We need a, we need r, we need s to make the equation. I have r, which is -2. I have s, which is 3. Now I need a point. Now I can't use the vertex because it does not, I don't have my k value, and I don't have a way, I don't have an equation to sub a half in. So I need another point, and another good point would be the y-intercept right here. And then I can clearly see that point. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. So that's the one that I'm going to use to help me get my equation. So my point is 0, 3. All right, let's go ahead and we'll write down what we know so far, which is y equals a bracket. Remember, it's going to be the opposite sign, so x plus 2 and x minus 3. And I'm going to sub in 0, 3. Okay, we remember that 0 is going to be the x value and 3 is the y value. So 3 is going to go at the beginning of the equation equals a times x plus 0. Wow. Sorry guys. Let's back that up. Clear my brain. Okay, 0 goes where x is. 0 plus 2 times 0 minus 3. So we're going to have 3 equals a. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 3 is a -3. So I have 3 equals a. 2 times -3 is a -6. I'm going to write that in front of my a. Instead of a times -6, I'll write -6a, and then I'll go ahead and divide both sides by -6. So my a equals -1/2 when I put 3/6 in lowest terms. Okay, so my final equation is going to be y equals -1/2 x plus 2 and x minus 3. Now, because it's not a real life situation, we're going to leave it as a fraction and not change it to a decimal. All right, so essentially, hopefully what you're seeing is that between example 1, example 2, and example 3, that last step is the same. And depending on what information you're given, you have to determine which point you're going to sub in. So you can either sub in the vertex, you can sub in a y-intercept. You could even, see this point here? We could have just subbed in that random point of 2, 2. And we would still get the same a value. Does not matter what you sub in, you will always get that same a value. So on a graph, you can just pick a point that's a good point. You don't have to use the vertex, right? Because the vertex wasn't a good point for us. We couldn't tell what the k is. All right, now let's see how this relates to a real life example. So I won't have time in this video, so I'm going to stop it. And when I come back in the next one, we'll do example 4.